Lifebuoy baru, skin barrier lebih kuat untuk hadapi keseharianmu. Coba sekarang.
Milk Life Lactose Free, aman di lambung, bebas kembung.
Apparently, there's this rare species of lizard that not only looks like a dinosaur, but acts just like one. The name of it is a frilled dragon, and it looks very deadly. But despite how dangerous it looks, I found this website that sells legal exotic animal pet, and I don't know how hard that is gonna be, because as you've already seen, this thing is literally, that thing's a demon. I mean, look at that. But anyways, let's just buy this thing. And in this video, I'll be judging how good of a pet a dinosaur actually is by doing stuff like taking it outside like a dog. Yeah, this video's crazy. But before any of that, I first have to wait for it to be delivered, which is going to take about a week. So in the meantime, let's build this thing its dream home with everything it could possibly want. And to do that, well, I've got a lot of stuff. I first put together the glass enclosure to build the dream home inside of. And anyways, now it's time to actually build the dream home, and to do that there's 5 steps, starting with creating the background. To create the background, I sprayed a ton of foam all along the glass so I could stick a ton of wood to it. You see, I'm basically recreating a forest in here, since that's where frilled dragons live in the wild. And to complete the forest look, I covered it in a ton of dirt and wood chips so it'd look nice and natural, you know. As you can see, this tank is already looking very, very beautiful and natural with all that wood and dirt, but it's also looking a bit brown and lifeless too. So let's get to doing some more stuff, starting with the floor. Now I know I was just complaining about everything being brown, but to make the floor we do gotta use some brown dirt, so yeah. The cheapest way to get a bunch of quality dirt is to use one of these compressed coconut fiber bricks, which may not seem like a lot of dirt, but if we add a huge tub of water to it, well, now it's a lot of dirt. Finally, I mixed in a bunch of other types of ground stuff, because that's what forest floors got, you know. Alright, this is starting to look almost like a forest, but we're still missing some key things. So let's move on to step 3, plants and decorations. Now first of all, I've got 2 different types of moss, which to start, I'll use carpet moss, which comes conveniently packaged in this box. Now I always thought moss was just like dead grass or something, but it's actually an alive organism that over time is gonna grow and overtake the entire terrarium. Pretty cool. And I'm gonna need way more plants if I'm gonna make this the best plant store in town. Bruh. You guys don't understand the fantastical selection of plants they got. I mean, look at all these. Thanks, Walmart, for all these good plants. So I got a couple small plants, and I also got one big one that should make the dinosaur nice and happy. And while I was walking around there, I also saw they had some yeah. So to allow the dinosaur to actually get a drink of water, we hosed it down to remove dirt and insects and stuff, and brought it back in. I'll be done soon. Eventually, I was able to get this fantastical piece of wood that would work perfectly, so I quickly hosed it down to remove dirt and insects and stuff, and brought it back inside. After breaking it down so it would fit, I put it in place and covered the bottom with some more wood. And boom, the decorations are complete in here. But of course, I'm not just gonna leave the tank like this. We've got to first add in some technologies to make this the best enclosure ever, starting with some water technologies. The first water technology I got is this little box, which is actually an auto. Second water technology I got is extremely high tech. It's a water bowl. Yeah, so you know the dinosaur can get a drink of water and stuff. Now, even though I added in this amazing water dish, frilled dragons actually never drink from it. They actually just use it as a bathroom. Yeah. So to allow the dinosaur to actually get a drink of water, now there's just one more thing to build before I expensive top quality UV bulb that recreates the same UV. Hooked up a thermometer, and as you can see, it reached up to 100 degrees in the basking spot, which is perfect. Finally, I put a bit of aluminum foil on top to keep the heat and humidity inside. Okay, well, the frilled dragon's home is now complete, and well, it's time to add it inside. And the next day, I got a notification on my phone saying the package was ready for pickup, so I drove out to FedEx. Alright, so I just got back from FedEx, and I just picked up this box, which is probably the frilled dragon. I mean, it says live animal. Hopefully it didn't give me the wrong package. But anyways, I'm gonna take this thing inside and put it in the cage, and oh, there's some chickens right there. Bruh. I might gotta show these guys to the dinosaur. They're gonna be good friends. But before I do anything like that, let's just start by opening up this box. Oh my gosh, I can kind of see the dinosaur right now, and well, it's definitely a dinosaur.
S26 Procal Gold, the most advanced formulation. Semua bisa jadi hebat.
A dinosaur. Now that I have the frilled dragon, I'm gonna find out if dinosaurs are actually good pets by doing stuff like feeding it, taking it outside, and even more. But first, let's get this guy in the enclosure. Now, this may not look like a dinosaur just yet, but that's because its thing on its neck only comes out on special occasions. But trust me, I will be showing you exactly what it looks like later in the video. Okay, well, the dinosaur is in its enclosure right now, and honestly, I'm still scared to get within a 5-foot radius of this thing. Like, I have no idea if this is as ferocious as those videos made it out to be, but I guess we're gonna find out. For now, I already know this guy is very hungry and thirsty from spending a day in that shipping container, and as you can see, his water bowl is already messed up because he was like jumping around and pooping in there like I thought he would. So to give him a drink of water, I turned my water pump on a very low setting, which made little drops of water fall above the dinosaur. Immediately, he started to stick out his tongue and take little sips of it, which is actually pretty cool to watch. Then he just started to bask in it like he was taking a shower. Dang, maybe this guy isn't as ferocious as I thought. He actually looks pretty chill right now. Now, to feed the frilled dragon, I asked the guy I bought it from which insect is the dinosaur's favorite, and he said crickets are one of the best. So, I got a bag of some pretty big crickets. Bruh, what are these guys all running around in here for? It's not like you guys gonna escape. They're just jumping around. Are you guys stupid? And literally immediately after I put a bunch of them in, the dinosaur started to go crazy, as you can see, jumping all around the enclosure to get a nice, juicy meal. And to show you just how cool it is when the frilled dragon hunts, I hired a professional nature documentary narrator to tell you what's going on. Look at this.
In this small, recreated prehistoric world, a cricket enjoys a quiet meal of moss. But nearby, the frilled dragon, a creature with roots deep in ancient history, lately devoured by one of nature's